From the 26th until the 28th of February 2024, together with UNESCO's Teacher Task Force, the DBE will be co-hosting the 14th Policy Dialogue Forum. Ahead of the forum, the DBE has put together a series of videos on the work done so far in relation to teacher development.
We're going to talk about unemployed teachers in South Africa. I know this is often not an issue in many other countries who talk a lot about a shortage of teachers. There are not enough teachers coming out of teacher training institutions. In South Africa, we have this somewhat unusual situation of unemployed teachers, and it is because of a number of factors that have come together at the same time. So we knew that the demand for teachers was going to go up because of population pressures and because attainment or survival to grade 12 is improving. So the secondary school sector is expanding. And as a result of that, the teacher training institutions, which are universities in South Africa, were told to please increase the output of teacher graduates. There was funding attached to this, and so the output of teachers increased. However, at the same time, we've had a very tight budgetary climate in South Africa, so we couldn't expand the workforce as we would like to in schools, and hence, universities have been producing more teachers than we've actually been able to absorb into the schooling system. Obviously that is difficult for the unemployed teachers, but in terms of the country, this is probably going to help in the sense because we have a lot of older educators, older teachers who are very close to retirement. So we're going to see actually the situation change quite dramatically over the next 7 or so years. So we'll see a lot of those unemployed teachers being demanded, and universities have done a good job by increasing the output, because if they had not done this earlier, we may have run into universities may have not been able to increase teacher output to the degree that they have to get a.
I think what I can say, it is true that actually we have been producing, I would say, enough teachers, but I think one of the things that we probably need to pay more attention to is what qualifications are they coming out of universities with, because like Martin said, we do have a good number of unemployed qualified educators who have been through our university system, and what we find in the data that we have collected as the Department of Basic Education is that it seems the subject combinations that people qualify with are a bit of a problem. So for example, we know that we don't have a high demand for teachers for economics, for example, or the BCM as we call them in South Africa, and accounting, but we have a large number of graduates in those fields. And then also on the other hand, it's not only to say that it's those that are doing the business stream, but also we're finding that sometimes the combinations that our graduates choose are not really in line with what the demand is in our school. So there's a demand, as would happen because of natural attrition, people leaving the profession because of retirements, deaths, and the likes, or illness, sometimes long-term illness. But what we're finding then is that to replace like for like becomes a bit of a challenge, and that's something that I think as a country we need to be looking at, and perhaps the department working with higher education institutions, we need to have a closer look at what we should be prioritizing. We know that in South Africa also we should be focusing a lot on foundation phase, ensuring that we're producing a large number of foundation phase educators, especially those who are qualified to teach in African languages. I think that's an area that requires a bit of attention.